Hello and welcome back to an episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing great. For today's episode, I want to bring you updates on Regina Daniels' issue with her husband, Ned Nwoko. Now, I don't even know where to start because Ned has released a statement saying that Regina Daniels is on drugs, that Regina Daniels is a heavy drug abuser, that he had suggested for her to go to rehab, and that she has refused. She has now packed out of the house to where she would have more access to drug abuse. Now, this is a very hefty allegations to level against a teenager that you married when she was a virgin. She was not a drug user before she came to your house. I don't think Ned was... they said he's a lawyer. I am not sure who advised Ned to release that statement, because he actually released the statement with a video of a broken window and the famous Ferrari. The famous red Ferrari was... the windscreen was broken. He said that Regina, under the influence, got aggressive. He said she beat up the nanny, the son was sick, she didn't care. Now, after he released that statement, an insider told Cutie Jules that it was actually Ned that allegedly introduced Regina to substance abuse. According to the insider, Regina, obviously, he married her as a virgin, so she didn't know anything about bedmatics. And she was doing her best. She was doing her best. So Ned took her to a club. They smoked shisha. So, according to the insider, Ned took Regina to a club. And in that settings, she drank alcohol, she smoked shisha. We don't know if it was laced with anything, we don't know. And then they went home and Regina gave him correct Nakademus. She spinned and climbed ceiling, rotated. He was so impressed that he went and bought the shisha device so that, whenever he wants that level of energy and high, he gets her high, and then they start doing whatever they had to do. Now, on that very fateful day of the event, or when that happened, it was supposed to be Regina's turn that night. As usual, allegedly, according to what they said, she got high to perform for her husband, because he got addicted to the whole thing and he was even going through the back door, allegedly. So for her to do all those things, she needed to be high. And that was her night, so she was high. But they didn't bargain for their son to be unwell. And Ned was alleging or saying that he was not around when it happened. And also that man lied. That was just a cooked up statement that I don't even know who advised him. And he said he's a lawyer. So Regina's son was not feeling fine, according to Ned, because of her state. According to Ned, because she was high, they couldn't take the son to the hospital. Or she couldn't take the son to the hospital because she was, according to him, too high up there to even realize that her son was not feeling fine. The resident nurse tried treating the son, and according to Ned, Regina refused. So he then had to come all the way from wherever he said he was. He came back home and was the one that took the son to the hospital. So now, Ned, who was claiming that he was not around when it happened, he has now put himself in the scene. Because I don't understand how you would take a child to the hospital and claim not to be around at the same time. Did you take the child to the hospital after the whole drama that happened or before the drama? I don't know. But anyway, Ned said he took the child to the hospital and Regina proceeded to be aggressive. but he didn't mention why. Let's even take for it. Let's just humor ourselves to say that Regina was high at that point. He must have, according to Regina, she said he beat her up. According to the brother, he said Ned hit her head on the wall. And according to the brother, he shared pictures of Regina's blooded lips. According to the brother, Ned hit her with a gun on her. Like, this is a sitting senator. This is a senator that married a sixth wife who is underaged. His fifth wife, Layla, packed out, ran away into 2021, I think. Ned came out and said that she ran away because she was flirting, she was sleeping with men, and now Regina is on drugs. Only you, Ned. Only you marry virgin. Only you in their house, they'll start cheating. Only you marry virgin. Only you in their house, they'll start becoming addicted to substances. People are now blaming Regina's mother. And Regina's mother has not said anything. She's yet to speak. Now, Nollywood actresses Yvonne Jegede and Georgina Onoha, they've come out, they've said something, because I think everybody was just tiptoeing around the whole topic. I understand that you don't put mouth in married people's wahala because this is Nollywood. Now that they've come out to say something, at the end of the day, if they settle, you will now be the enemy. So I understand where some people are coming from. Angela Corey came out and said that people should stop tagging her because, when she was talking, nobody listened. But I will just play the video of Georgina Onoha, her response, and Yvonne Jegede. Let me know what you think. Do you think that... I just want to know if they were right, because Georgina blamed the mother, while Yvonne Jegede is blaming other people for even, having an opinion about the whole thing. Let me know what you think. Watch this.
Hi everyone, I've been seeing the online trending video regarding Regina Daniels and her estranged husband, Senator Ned Nwoko. I want to believe that Nigerians, we have amnesia and something isn't really right with us. The fact that this grown man at almost 70 put out a press release that his 25-year-old wife, whom he started courting when she was 16 and married when she was 18 and fathered a child right away with her, is a drug abuser, and we all are shouting and claiming that he's right. So does it mean that in our book might is right? Don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. I saw her as a little child who was offered, whose youth and future was altered at the altar of an ancient and modern old man because of money by her irresponsible and greedy mother. She is a victim of her society. But that being said, she's smoking shisha and doing all of that. She was acting her age under the nose and umbrella of a man who married this little girl to protect and to provide for her. So Senator Ned Nwoko, let me ask you, at what point did a girl who was given to you at 16, or whom you started courting at 16 and married at 18, become a drug dealer? When she married you, she was whole, she was young, she was naive. You claim she was a virgin. At what point did that virgin become a drug dealer? A child you were supposed to nurture, protect and provide for. At what point did you just write this to discredit her and to look for a way to deny her access to her kids, just like men like you do? Because you're wealthy, influential, and have access, then you think might is right. I do not care about that girl, but I cared about the injustice you're about to mean to her. And I know as I'm doing this, she might decide to go back with you, which is what they know how to do best. It's what we call the Stockholm Syndrome. You marry these little girls at 16, 17, 18. You put them in a pedestal, lure them in with your money, make children with them, and when they start growing up and start acting their age, or if at any point they register displeasure with you, you will begin to tag them name. I do not see a responsible man, husband, who comes out in less than 24 hours that the wife, or video of the wife having an altercation with him or whatever comes out, is putting out a press release that the so-called wife is a drug addict. Are you serious, Senator Nwoko? If I recall, in 2021, you did the same shit with Laila Charani, your Moroccan wife. The point she said she was done, she moved her things and went to Morocco. You took 2 of her kids, leaving the little one at hand, and she went back to Morocco. She struggled, attempted modeling and everything, then came back. I'm sure they cajoled her into apologizing. I don't blame them. You married these young, impressionable, vulnerable children whose parents decide to sell them at the altar of an old man like you because of money, because there is really nothing fanciable about you outside of your money. You take these little girls, you marry them. All of a sudden, when they turn 20 something, they start acting their age, or they begin to register displeasure with how you're treating them, allegedly in your home. You come out, you call them drug addicts, you call them prostitutes, you say they're sleeping with other men. Whereas you do the same thing with a whole lot of shenanigans going on. I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. In short, I don't blame that little girl. I blame her stupid mother, who sold her innocent child at the altar of an old ancient of days because of money. This is the kind of society we live. So I will ask the Nigerian government, if this little girl is accusing a lawmaker of domestic violence, I think it's time the federal government looks into it. If it means Senator Ned stepping aside until a proper investigation is done into this domestic violence, because it's not just because it's a marital issue. He's a state senator. The brother just alleged him hitting the girl with a gun. Those are huge. And him coming out to claim that the girl is a drug addict and he knows her dealer, I think is another crime. That under your roof as a senator, your wife and her siblings are peddling drug and you did not report them to the authority. You are an irresponsible man to even put out search about your wife. That's what you do to little girls you marry. When you give them money, you lure them in, you put a chokehold on them, so that by the time they decide to leave you, they have nothing to fall back other than to come back to you because of Stockholm Syndrome. And let me say this to every Nigerian man. Don't go and marry a child and expect her to not act like a child. Where I live, when a 60-something-year-old man begins to court a 16-year-old girl, it is termed pedophilia. These men are good at preying and grooming these young girls. In Regina's own case, her mother sold her to you for money. A young, beautiful, brilliant girl. So she was given to you whole, but you're sending her back to the society, tagging her a drug addict. How convenient of you to tag her a drug addict. In your statement, you said you were not around, they not said this, they not under your roof. At what point did she become a drug dealer? Under your roof, Senator Ned. I will call on the Nigerian government, not because these are marital issues between spouse, but the fact that domestic violence is involved and you are a state senator or a sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a lawmaker at that. The issue of domestic violence needs to be investigated. The brother alleging that you hit this girl with a gun when you are the same person anchoring for passing bills for Nigerians to own guns, that should be questioned. For you to also allege that she's a drug dealer and her brother is a supplier under your roof without you stating this prior to yesterday, her alleging domestic violence, that needs to be looked into. If you're an honorable man, as you want the world to think, I think it's time you step aside and let proper investigation be done to this. Nigerians, you all have amnesia. Might isn't always right. This young girl might be young from a poor home. Let me tell you, when these men marry these girls, they leave them with nothing, so that those girls will come back begging and crawling at their altar. Society needs to wake up. For men like this who groom and prey on young, impressionable, vulnerable young girls. Dearest Regina, pick up the pieces of your life and go. I know you might run back to him because of the kind of life he has exposed you to. God help you. I think there should be a wake-up call for you to want to go back to school, do something with your life. You're young, you're beautiful. Fortune might smile on you again. But women, mothers, stop selling your kids at the altar of old, wretched, ugly-looking men because of money. There should be a cautionary tale. It doesn't always end well. Suffice to say, they will always have their way with your child. Shame on you, Regina's mother, and shame on a society like us that enables such men using Islam and religion to groom, to prey on young, impressionable young girls. Knowing the socioeconomic status of Nigeria, they prey on these young women, and her stupid mother fell for it because of money. Because Savior, or like I said, 2021, Senator Ned accused Chiara, his ex-wife, his former wife or Moroccan wife, of doing all sorts when that little girl wanted to leave, and alleged all sorts. So God help you all. But for me, I don't care about you all. But don't use drugs as a means of silencing this young girl, because you have the wherewithal. And she doesn't have nobody to speak up for her. I'm no fan of hers. I detest all the bullshit she does.
You see, you people on this internet, you people cannot even be real. You people can't be real. A young girl has come out to cry for help, that she is being violated in her home. And the first thing that you people would think of is, are you not married to a rich man? If she was married to a poor man and the man is beating her, would that make a difference? No, I'm asking you people. Would that make a difference? Or maybe if she was married to a single guy who never was married before, and the guy is still beating her, because we know people who are single who are beating their wives. There's a video of a woman who came out recently that she just had a baby, and is it 4 days later the man beat her till whatever happened, and the police came to rescue her. The guy didn't have money. He didn't have other wives, but he was beating his wife who just had a baby. So if that was Regina's case, maybe you guys would have been feeling sorry for her, that, oh, poor man is beating her. Is that what it is? You people just like bad news. You people just like sokuso. You people just like bad news. And all those senior colleagues of hers that will be say them play her mama years ago. Una play in mother for film years ago. Una day now, don't they laugh for internet. Shame on una. Everybody has a story. All of us will have a story. And it doesn't matter where or how, we all have a story. And one way or the other, we are intertwined, we are connected, we are one. So to stand up now and you are laughing at somebody just because her story has gone the other way, you think you are better. And I know all of you will come for me and say, is that not what she's all about? Single mother. And she's the one that is holding the mantra for single parents. I don't care. My own is that once violence is involved, I will not sugarcoat it. I will tell you to leave. Be it a woman, be it a man. Because even some women get agitated so much and they get violence. Oga, I'm not one of those people that come and say, are you not a man? Can't you man up and do? Bros, you carry your bag for your own health, mental health. You pick your bag and you go. You not keep person. It is better for you to live to tell the story than for you to stay and die. That's the point I'm trying to make. There are young people who beat their wives. It doesn't even matter if the man is in his 60s. There are people who have never married before, have married once in their lifetime, and they use beating to come out the woman, shift the woman face, go the other side. Does that make it better? Because if the man was poor or the man was so younger, would that make it any better? Would it? You guys should make me understand. Maybe I'm not getting it. Maybe you should make me understand. Because shame on all these, especially her colleagues that are there now gloating. Oh, sure. Is the story any better?
Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.